welcome to the Zeens and Roger Crochet podcast. I'm Rosina. How are you? You alright? It's not too bad, is it? Not too bad. In the grand scheme of things, can we say we're alright? Yeah. Welcome to episode 14. It's crochet crazy in a minute. I'm a bit pooped, but excitingly, what I thought I might do is actually call this a vlogcast, because it seems to me that although technically speaking this is a video log and therefore a vlog and not a podcast because podcasts are audio, we can merge the two to come up with a vlogcast, can't we? I heard it somewhere and I was like, that's it, that's what it is. But I can't remember who said it. And I'd love to be able to give credit, but I can't because I can't remember who said it. Anyway, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to dive straight in because there's no real news today. I was going to talk about some rather depressing things, but if I fancy doing that still at the end, then I'll do it at the end. But I'm not going to do it now because I want to do jolly nice stuff. Happy and jolly and lovely crochet things that we can all go yay for crochet. Shall we just start with the main one because it's obvious. I completely forgot I was wearing it actually. It's my jumper. The pattern is by an actual designer, but I don't know their name because on the information that you get when you print off the pattern it just says by Crochet. But I'm fairly sure that there is an actual real life human behind that pattern and I'd love to be able to give them credit, and I don't know who it is at the moment. So, and because it's literally only just popped into my head that I should do that, I'll have to go and research and find out because I swear I've seen a real human name behind it. So I would like to do that. But the pattern itself says it's by Crochet, which is an Australian brand that I think they do yarn and the odd pattern like they all do. So anyway, a colour block jumper. I'm sure you know it by now because I have gone on about it for a lot. So here it is. Hang on a sec, excuse me. It goes to here, and I don't know if you can see this, but at the moment it doesn't, the ribbing doesn't allow it to like ping back like a normal jumper is, and presumably that's just the nature of crochet. You're supposed to go down half a hook size for all these bits, and that's not enough. Not for me. Not the way I, did you see? It sort of just dangles there. It doesn't sort of like it doesn't go in a bit. I think it's supposed to go in a bit, but at the moment it's kind of just sort of for effect rather than shaping, I suppose. I'm going to make another one and I'm going to go down another hook size. So all of this is made in a 5mm, and the collar and cuffs, the cuffs, the neck, that bit, they're 4.5. So the idea is there to sort of suck it in a bit, but it needs more. So I think when I make my second one, this is going to be a 4mm and that'll be a 5. And I was going to get the label out and be all like super duper informative about that, but I haven't. But it's Drops Lima, and I said last time that it was alpaca, but it's a mix of alpaca and other wool, non-specified wool. And I'm not sure, it might be hand wash only. which is a bit silly for a jumper really. Well, it's not. I mean, some people probably are sort of sensible and take care of their things, whereas I'm lazy, don't want to. I'm just going to bung in a washing machine anyway. But you know, if you're one of those guys that takes the time to hand wash your stuff, then fair play, because I very rarely do that. I haven't blocked it, and I think if I blocked it, it would be too big. This size is small, and I was worried, wasn't I, that it would be too small and wouldn't fit. But it does. I mean, there's plenty of room in there, but it's not too big. It's probably about right, actually. I wouldn't want it to be fitted. I really like it. I'm very pleased, and I've probably worn it most days since I finished it, on and off. I take it off when I'm cooking, and I take it off when I'm eating, because I don't want to get it dirty. Although, and it's not dirty actually. I'm not a dirty person. So I think probably, seeing as I've talked about it in a lot of episodes, I don't need to talk about it anymore, do I? I think you probably just wanted to have a look, yeah? So, boom. Yeah. I'm not very switched on today, I have to say. So if I'm not my usual self, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm having one of those weeks. I was going to say one of those days, but it's not. It's a full-on week, if not a fortnight. You know how last episode I was like, woohoo, everything's great. Crashed very soon after, and everything sucks, quite frankly. Well, it doesn't, because it just doesn't, obviously. I mean, things are alright. I've got a new jumper. What more can you want? Seeing as we're talking about finished objects, I will show you my other finished object. And I didn't know I was going to have any actually, but last night I started something and I finished it last night too. And I don't want you to be disappointed with me. Please don't tell me off, because it's knitting. I just wanted the knitted effect. I'm really sorry. It's for a specific reason, and I might admit it in a sec. But here it is. It is a cowl, and it's just garter stitch because that's all I can do at the moment. And I'm not about to become a stupendous knitter and like learn all these amazing stitches and become fabulous. I don't have that desire. Maybe I will one day, but not right now. So basically this is it. And I wanted the garter stitch because I like it. I made a scarf last year out of it and it's fab. I was a bit worried that it wouldn't fit, like it would be too small because it's hardly any yarn on. I used every bit I had, but that's fine. I'm happy with that. What do you reckon? I won't spend too much time on it because I know you're there going, oh, it's disgusting. How dare she? And I wanted chunky because I've got chunky needles, good old like stabbing needles. And I wanted chunky, and I wanted it to be like this because that's what I saw on the telly. So I've basically ripped off an idea I saw off the telly. I'll just tell you, I've been watching Outlander, okay, and I want all that knitwear, and it's all knitting, not crochet. So and it's all like that, you know, garter stitch. So I was like, I can do that. I bought 2 balls of Drops Polaris, which is like mega chunky stuff. It's 100% wool. It says use a 12mm needle, but those are 15mm, and it was perfect. And it was the chunkiest I could find that I could afford. because a lot of them are really expensive, and this was just a few quid a ball, and I thought I would try 2 balls because I wanted just a cowl, and I used every single bit of it. I did no cutting whatsoever. Cast on 20 stitches and knit until there was enough to cast off, and sew it together end to end, and then sewed in ends which were about that long, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah, I might do some more knitting, but I promise this is a crochet. This is the crochet zone, okay? But I bought some of this to make a sort of another kind of cowl, probably moving towards an infinity scarf. This is James C. Brett Rustic Mega Chunky, and it's this thick, which is only half the thickness of the Polaris, so I'm going to need a smaller needle for this. I did look at some patterns, and by the way, Outlander, it's alright, I enjoy it, it's alright. I mean, it's not like Oscar worthy, is it? But it's not the reason why I'm watching it, let's be frank. Oh, see what I did there? Let's not be him. I watch it for the knitwear, of course, no other reason. And that is going to be, I want that to be a cowl or something. And then to make some wrist warmers, I am going to crochet. We'll go back on the crochet, and I'll show you in a sec. Because what I basically, on Monday I did a Wool Warehouse order, and I wanted to make up the money to get free delivery, so I bought some of this, which is West Yorkshire Spinners fleece, 100% blue-faced Leicester. I've gone way off formula today because normally I do finished objects and whips, or whips and finished objects, whatever order, and then I go on to acquisitions, and I'm blurring everything today. Everything's going together. Psh. So these are going to be my wrist warmers, and I'm going to use my own pattern, which is, it's on Ravelry, and I'm going to make these out of this. And I didn't think to do it all in one colour because, you know, I like my colour. But I saw one of my Instagram and blogging friends use my pattern and make it all in one colour. And it worked really well, it looked beautiful. So thanks Teresa, Shirley Rainbow. Yeah, it looked fab. So that is going to be 2 of these, and then I'm going to float around Ottery looking like a Sassenach. Such a dweeb. This, by the way, smells beautiful, you know. A lovely sheepy smell. It's good, it's good. It is the colour brown, R5007. Those will take no time at all. I'll probably wind that up. I might even do it by hand actually. And because you've got to get out the spinny doodah, get out your winder, do it all together. By the time I've done that, I could do that, couldn't I? It won't take, that will be much quicker than just like winding it by hand. Silly. So having a bit of a breakdown at the moment, quite well, yeah, honestly, I think that's pretty much what's happened to me over the last couple of weeks. So no fluid thoughts, no organisation. I've forgotten things, several things. But I'm hoping that I'm coming out the other side of it now. Mostly, well, it's to do with lots of things, and I'd listed them all and I was going to talk about them. But I think quite a lot of you probably sit there going, I don't want to hear this. ugh, depressing. So I'll brush over a lot of it and go. I have been making a blanket, okay? I started it not the weekend just gone, it's Thursday morning now. Not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before. The Sunday evening I started, and it was plenty of time, I thought, to make this blanket with a couple of days to spare the other end so that I could breathe a sigh of relief. I spent 4.5 days on it. I started Sunday evening, probably around Friday morning, when I was halfway through a blanket that would fit on a double bed. No, sorry, single bed, not that big. A large blanket to sort of drape over a single bed. Halfway through, and I ran out of a particular colour. It was Friday morning. I was going away Saturday and Sunday. I couldn't get it on Amazon Prime, the yarn, because I thought maybe I'll order more and get it next day. Couldn't do that. If I ordered it from somewhere else, would they get it to me the next day? Don't know. It might take 4 or 5 days. Could I afford to wait that time? No. Lots of different kind of thoughts I've had, you know, trying to work out stuff. Could I do this? Could I do that? Decided to frog half of it. So probably 2 days work got frogged, and I started, and then I sort of put the other stuff, the other beginnings of the blanket to one side, and I started again with the rest of the yarn. Friday afternoon, about 12 o'clock I started it, and I finished it yesterday morning, which is Wednesday. All the while, like, being away for the weekend for, we had a 10-year anniversary dinner and stuff like that. Mine and my husband's, not anybody else's. So it was important, had to do that as well. And doing all this other stuff in between, getting stressed about other stuff, and generally fretting quite a lot. So it's been fraught. But I did it. I sent it off yesterday. Gee whiz. It caused an awful lot of yeah, frogged 200 grams of double knit back and had to start all over again. I was just so annoyed with myself because I could see it was coming up really big. I could see it, and I was like, no, it'll be alright, it'll be alright, it'll be fine. I reckon I can do this. It will just about be enough. But one particular colour was about 2 rows short of what I needed. Just 2 rows. Frogged back. I think I frogged back 28 rows. And at that point, each row was taking about 15 minutes. It's a lot of work. I have not gotten over it yet. Yeah. But that's why I started that knitted. You can see why I turned to the dark side, because it's like crochet. I'm sorry, I had enough of you. So that's why I did that knitting last night. But I finished that about 8:30, 9 o'clock. That cowl, not the blanket. The knitted cowl finished. And so I started some crochet again. I'm back on the crochet. It's my friend's birthday soon, and she has asked me to make her the urban stripe shawl. And so I started last night, because this is what my Wool Warehouse order was for. It was for some Drops Cotton Merino. I love Drops. Drops are brilliant. It's just it's brilliant because it's cheap. But also not terrible quality. So, fabulous. I'm making an urban striped shawl out of 2 greys and a rust colour, because rust is the new mustard. I'm telling you. Not that it matters. We like the colour. My friend has chosen mustard and grey. Rust and grey. And I'm making the urban stripe shawl, which I will put a link into the notes so that you can go and have a look at my Ravelry store and check that out. It's really good actually, because it means that I can see what it looks like in a different yarn and different colours, because I've only made one, and it would be great to see what the contrast is like, what it looks like, if it works well in another colour, if it works well in another yarn. I chose cotton merino because my friend is particularly sensitive to scratchy yarn and stuff like that, and she was asking for all cotton, and I know there's like, well, I've seen a really nice King Cole cotton soft, but I think that was quite a fat yarn, comparatively fat to sport weight anyway. I think the double knit came up quite sort of plump, I suppose, and I didn't want that, and so I've suggested a cotton mixed with merino, because I think actually it's not, that's got no itch whatsoever, whereas this jumper, yeah, if you were particularly sensitive, I think this would probably drive you up the wall. Whereas I'm wearing it now, and yeah, there's a little bit of itch, and yeah, I'm kind of a little bit hot. But come the winter, it'll be perfect, and I can forgive the scratch. Not actually, that's terrible, because that makes it sound like this Lima stuff is scratching. I don't think it is, but my friend sort of had a fondle, and she went no. So hey ho, everybody's different. But I've chosen this because I don't think it'll be itchy. So what I'm doing is doing rust on one end of the shawl and this dark grey on the other, and then in between will be interspersed a light grey between some stripes. And it's a nice and quick project. It won't take very long, and it's nice sort of, after all the stresses of doing that other blanket, it's a nice and easy one. So yeah, and that's what this is going to be, I think, my main whip. I'm not going to try and start too many other projects, certainly not for this week, and maybe I'll start my other jumper next week, because the back to school sweater crochet along starts this weekend, I think. So I want to have that for that, and my sister wants one as well, and a couple of other people were like, oh, I'd like one. It's just like, just no, okay, you can't have one. It's like, oh, I didn't learn to crochet and make your own, okay? Yes, it has been a bit like that. I got back a sample yesterday, and it's this one, and it's funny because you see it in a magazine, and then you see it in real life, and you're like, oh yeah, I made that. But I don't know what to do with it. I need a cupboard for samples and like test pieces and all of that, because as much as I'm really proud of this, well, it smells like somebody else. That's not me. How funny. As much as I think I'm really proud of it, it's not actually my style at all, and I would never wear it, drape it around myself, or do anything. I wouldn't. It was supposed to have, yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's lightweight for summer evenings. We're going into autumn now as well, so you could wear it any way you like. Any way you like. I think they had it like this in the shoot. Very funny to see it returned. But yeah, I'm going to need a whole room for samples. I didn't really think about that. On a positive note, actually, my blanket mess up that I made has triggered a new design idea. So I'm quite pleased about that. And if I hadn't messed up, I wouldn't have thought of it. So that's a good thing, yeah? But the fact that it didn't go smoothly, and the fact that I've done some swatches for submission, and if I'm successful, I'm going to hear back in the next few days. I don't think I'm going to be successful this time round. Sometimes you get a good feeling, sometimes you think, I predict that this one will get chosen, but I don't think they'll pick these ones. And most of the time, I'm right. And sometimes I get a bit put out and I'm like, but why didn't they choose the other one? And then it's not until a few weeks later that you go back and go, oh yeah, actually it's not as sort of polished as it could be. I could have made that look better. I could have done it slightly differently. Wow, I've completely lost my thread. Submissions, la la la. Was I going, I think, oh my god, I think what I might have been saying was that, oh my god, oh yeah, sorry, let's move on. Oh yes, I remember. I was designing it and doing swatches and stuff like that, and I was like, oh brilliant, I love this, this is going to be beautiful. And then I looked at it the next day or something like that, and I went, that is just like blah blah's. Great. This fabulous idea that I thought was wonderful and amazing, and oh look how clever I am. It's like so and so down the road has done one that is pretty much the same. I mean, obviously it's not the same, not identical, but there were so many elements that it kind of makes you just go, great, I'm completely unoriginal, I suck, everything's rubbish, can't do anything. And then you start sort of spiralling downwards and thinking how pants you are. And then you look at your other designs and all the ones you've published and you go, well, are any of those actually any good? No. Are any of them unique? Are any of them like no other you've ever seen? No. And you find argument and reason for why none of your work has any merit whatsoever. And yes, I know this is imposter syndrome. I know it is. But it doesn't make it any less nasty when you experience it. But I've been telling myself that it's okay, you know. These ideas that you see that belong to other people are actually nothing like yours, okay? They're not. And just because you use the same colour in one pattern, or maybe in another pattern it was the same stitch you used, it doesn't mean you're a thief. I mean, if you do actually do that, then obviously that is wrong. Don't nick people's ideas. But if it's completely unintentional, and also you get your mate to look at it and tell you you're being silly, and actually no, it's fine, they are different, then, you know. But that's been weighing on my mind a lot. And I wrote a whole list, and I was going to do this massive piece to camera about it, and I was just like, do you know what, I don't want to. Although, strictly speaking, I've just done that. Don't comment, will you, and say, it's alright, it's fine, because that'll just make me go, I'm not fishing, okay, I'm not fishing for compliments. But just to let you know that that's been my week, well, my fortnight really. And then I've had comments from people as well. I mean, not nasty comments per se, but just comments that make, and some not nasty at all, but just make you question things and make you question your place in certain communities and whatnot. So that you go, I don't know, I'm lost. People, just even simple things, when you've experienced 2 or 3 of those factors, and then somebody else comes along and just says one thing to you, they might ask you a question but they haven't said please, that can make you crumble. And it's nothing, because I'm sure that person, I'm sure I've done it before, where you go, I love this, I want it, what is it? And you forget to say please and thank you. And I'm sure that person on the other end isn't grabby, demandy. It's just they forgot to say please. But the fact that you haven't seen it on there makes you go, oh my God, you just take from. Sorry, right, okay, stop it, because I'm going to go off on one. I think I scared somebody in the playground yesterday because I started talking 10 to the dozen like I'm doing now. And they were just like, right, yeah, okay. And you know what? It comes in cycles, doesn't it? Next week I'll probably be okay. It's just that I am feeling particularly stressy. So I don't know if I want you to know that. Not really. It's nice to show positive most of the time, because who wants to sit there and watch me talk for 20 minutes about depressing stuff? So I'll snap out of it, okay? I promise. Because there's a pattern that you will start switching off if every week it's like, oh, woe is me. So anyway, I'm on the lookout for pattern testers, I think, for the shawl that has not yet been named. And I've had some marvellous suggestions, so thank you very much. Some of those have been brilliant, and I think there's two that I'm like, yeah, I like those ones. And I like all of them actually, and some of them have been beautiful, and some of them have been really moving and kind of like, oh, that's lovely. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. So yeah, I haven't decided. And when I've written up the pattern, maybe this time next week, let's say sort of in maybe the 3rd week of September or something, I'm looking for some pattern testers. If you're interested, give us a shout. What I'll do is I'll put a doodah in Ravelry, a thread in Ravelry. So if you're interested in pattern testing for me, please, thank you very much. Give us a shout, and I'll send you a draft that I think is good. And if you think you can if you think you're a speedy crocheter and are dead keen and can do it sort of within a week or two, I don't want to rush you like and go, right, need it back in 3 days. Psh. I'm not going to do that. But if you think you're quick and really like the pattern and would love a copy of it, then get in touch. That would be awesome, thank you. I'm just going to refer to my notes. Oh yeah, thanks notes. I also, in amongst all this, have made a baby blanket. And I did do that 2 days, like rush, and sent that off for my sister-in-law. Let me show you a picture because I haven't got the actual, can you see that? You probably can't see. If I do that, it's going to be blurry. So if you can see, it's a terrible picture because I didn't take any arty-farty ones. It is that wisteria square from the Jan Eaton book that works really well when all stitched up together. I just wanted each square to be the same, and I was asked to make it all in cream, and I thought that would be a nice square. I think it's called the wisteria square. Excuse me, you know the 200 Blocks book by Jan Eaton. It's in there. And I know that Heather from the Patchwork Heart has made it before out of the batik yarn, and it looked really good. In fact, with the splashes of colour and the cream border of all the squares, that worked really well. And I was kind of hoping for a similar effect with the all cream. It doesn't quite do the same thing, but it still looks good. I messed up the border slightly because I sewed it all together. And I don't think I'm ever going to do that again. I did not like sewing the squares together. I've been doing the continuous join as you go, or just a normal join as you go, for a few years now, and it's far preferable for me. And what I want to do, and what I should have done actually with that one, is probably tried a braided joint. I think that would have looked really nice. And when I did it, I was in such a rush. This is what happens, you're in such a rush that you mess things up and you forget stuff. And I forgot that I had every intention of doing this braided join for that because I thought it would look fab. And I sewed it together, which didn't look quite so fab. Still a nice blanket, but it didn't have like an oomph to it. It didn't sort of make me stand back and go, oh yeah, that's a good blanket. I just sort of went, yeah, that's nice. So yeah. That is it. If you're going to Yarndale the weekend after next, have a good one. Think of me, won't you, whilst you're there. Let me know. I want to see what you bought, who you met, what happened. I want to know everything. Tell me. Think of me. I don't know. Actually, that weekend, maybe I could set up a little stall in my front room and I'll get my children to sort of pretend to be vendors. And I'll just have a one-man show. If you like me feeling sorry for myself and talking in random fashion about my love of yarn and crochet, a thumbs up would be very much appreciated, and subscribe, oh goodness, and spread the word. Thank you very much. See you next time, when everything will be, is it wine and roses? Is that what they said? Wine? That sounds wrong. Well, I'd much prefer wine to roses, but I won't be drunk. Oh, no, of course I won't. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Only drink at weekends. Cheerio, bye bye.